But I'm just fortunate enough that they had my back and were willing to have tough conversations with me about what it's like to be a business owner.
Right. That is sweet. Welcome to another episode of Keepin It a Bean. Keepin It a Bean is the platform where the best conversations and most authentic conversations happen over a cup of coffee. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the show. My name is Marquise. If you are new here, it's marquisedavon. This American Negro, Keese, but never Mark. Y'all already know, do not call me that as a nickname. It's just weird. Before we get into this, you can support this podcast by subscribing, liking my channel. You can also subscribe to wherever you listen to your podcast as well. So that could be Apple Podcasts. Leave a rate and review there. 5 stars. Do not be a hater, please and thank you. If you're on Spotify, please make sure that you're answering the proper question as well. I always leave a poll question as well. You can also subscribe there. This helps any podcaster be able to show up on different playlists, but also show up faster in the algorithm too. So please make sure that you are checking in if you want to support me non-monetarily. You can also just share any of the clips that you see across the YouTube channel or on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter, wherever you are following me, to make sure that you are engaging with this conversation. I'm so excited to keep growing this platform. So thank y'all for continuing to rock with me. But without further ado, we're going to happily get into this show. Welcome. This is Keepin It a Bean, and I got a wonderful guest here as well. You already know from whatever the title description says. But bro, Yaseen.
Yes, sir.
Please introduce yourself to the people.
What's happening, everybody? My name is Yaseen. I'm the proud owner of Mama's Boy Cafe, and just a regular dude that happened to cross paths with this guy right here. Keep it a bean, just like he said. Support this on all platforms, however you can. Got to keep the creators going, especially the locally bred ones.
Come on, I appreciate that. Thank you. That was so nice. Wow, come on.
I'm here for. I bring the energy.
You've done this before?
I wish.
Look, come on now. No, you was natural too. I was like, okay, you better support this show. Before we get into like the full part of the conversation, I always just start off. It's like a little icebreaker.
Okay.
But this week, what are you gonna keep it a bean about? Keeping it a bean is a section where you can give a hot take. You can say whatever you want that comes to your mind, and then we'll just riff from there.
All right, well, we're on Keeping It a Bean. I'll keep it a bean about the beans, all right? People who drink their coffee with oat milk, it's overrated. That's my hot take. Overrated. If you got a dietary restriction, you need oat milk, that's understandable. But you can't tell me you just prefer oat milk. I don't believe it for a second. That's my hot take.
How you come in and shoot the host right away? That was crazy. It's me. I'm the one who drinks oat milk.
As a former cafe brick and mortar owner, keep ordering oat milk in your drinks because everyone charges a surcharge. Gives me a couple extra dollars in my pocket. But you can't tell me you just like the taste of it more. I don't believe you. You want to be trendy or you have a dietary restriction. That's it.
It's your my dietary restriction, but dang. But are you like an almond milk person?
I'm an almond milk guy.
That's like, that almond milk don't do it for me. It reminds me of skim milk. Like, what are we talking about?
I get it. But at the end of the day, you're pouring it into coffee. Like,
very true.
It's not like, I understand, like, if you're drinking it straight,
yeah,
I feel you can make that argument.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I can spot an iced, dirty oat milk chai a mile away.
How?
You could just tell.
It's the texture. It's the texture.
You can just tell. No, I'm telling you, the people that order it, I can spot a mile away. I could look at someone and be like, you order iced oat milk dirty chais, 100%.
Oh.
You can just tell.
There's a certain look about them.
Yeah.
I learn something new every time.
Keep in mind, my coffee shop was in Manayunk.
Yeah.
I got a lot of them.
Noted.
I got a lot of those iced oat milk dirty chais.
I know, like, I'm like, what is that?
No shade at oat milk, but I'm keeping it a bean. That's my hot take.
No, I appreciate the hot take, and I appreciate that you kept a coffee theme, too. Of
course. Got to keep it on brand.
I just wasn't ready.
Stay ready. You don't need to get ready.
You absolutely right about that. Because I said, wow, he really got me. He really ate me up on my own platform. That was crazy. Oh, man. What am I going to keep it a bean about this week? That was good. That was a good start. I appreciate you.
Of course.
If I'm going to keep it a bean, If I'm gonna keep it a bean, stop announcing who you're not fucking with in 2024. If you're not fucking with them, you don't fuck with them. You don't gotta signal to anybody else. I was like, but why do I need to know this information? Like,
people want to make everything public knowledge.
Facts.
It's like people will post, it's like, I'm gonna be off Instagram for a little. Text me if you need me. It's like, we didn't need to know that
at all. I don't need to know. Like, if you're off, you're off. But you're gonna make a whole thing, and then you're gonna get people texting you like, why you going off Instagram, bro? Right. Like, shut up.
Anyone who really needs me has my number.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. So that was the quick section. I didn't know I was gonna get cooked for 0.2 seconds, but boys got a diet restriction because that lactose intolerance. I don't be playing. Oh my gosh! Before we get into the show, because now you made me think about the lactose intolerance. I love a bodega. I do. Okay. I do. But when I call and I order my meal in the morning, I'm like, yes, I need a waffle platter. I want eggs, no cheese. I tell him every time, no cheese. He put that shit on every time. He put the cheese on every time. It's like, bro. Every single time. And I looked at him. I was like, yo, Danny, no. Every time. And I know every time it's him, he doesn't listen to me. And I'd be so sad. So.
You go to a bodega where the dude's name is Danny?
His name's Danny, yeah.
Oh, man.
And then there's, Claudie. And then she's like, hola, Richard. How are you? And then she be trying to flirt with me. I'm like, yo, Claudie, like, girl, you better stop playing with me.
And what time in the morning is this at?
It could be 9:30.
So I got a story going off of that, you know? Tied into the coffee shop stuff as well. Talking about how she would flirt with you at 9:30 in the morning. The amount of people I'd get trying to spit game at me early in the morning was ridiculous.
They got that time to flirt that early?
It's crazy. I'll tell you some of the most out-of-pocket stuff.
Girl, I see the crust in your eye. How you doing?
The most out-of-pocket stuff that was ever said to me, the majority of it was while I was at my shop. Because I was a one-man show. So I was the owner, barista, everything. So I'm making all the drinks. When people come in, sometimes they wouldn't know it was my shop. I don't know how. I mean, my logo is me.
Yeah, so, I was going to say that feels pretty.
You think that'd be a giveaway.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I remember I had this woman come in at right when I opened, 7:30. She orders a drink off my specialty menu. It's called the Little Zoos. It's named after my 10-year-old brother back home.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of raspberry, caramel, mocha, bomb drink. Did put oat milk in it because, oat milk does sell. But she orders it, pays, whatever, starts drinking. She goes, oh, my God, this tastes delicious. I'm like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I came up with the drinks myself. And she goes, do you taste this delicious? I said, ma'am, it's 7:30. Right? I just opened these doors half an hour ago.
Oh, my God.
Right? It's 7:30, man. I got calm music. I got Soul Man playing in the background.
Why would she ever say that to you?
I was like, now in what world does that seem acceptable?
Right.
Remember, I felt like I was in the office. I just started looking at the camera. I'm like,
yep. Where's the camera?
I'm like, no, this is real life.
There's
Ashton
no
Kutcher isn't here. I'm not getting punked. It was like, oh, okay. Do you taste this delicious? I said, next. Next, not doing this. I don't have time today. Luckily, the next customer was one of my go-to regulars.
Yeah.
Was there every morning. So I'm thankful someone was there to witness that. Because I couldn't believe it happened to me.
Dog. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, people be horny way too early in the morning.
Yeah, no, I very much so. Straight like that.
No, there's no other way to put it.
No, there's no way to put it. I feel like, so first thing, you didn't. I'm mind my business. This is a family-friendly show.
Is it?
Where we went. All right, y'all. That's it for the Keeping It a Bean section. Next up, we're going to steep into another conversation. See what I did there?
I do.
You see what I did there? I got to make sure
you
steep your tea. Thank you. Ate that up. Oh, what's 4 + 4? All right, we'll be back after the break. All right, welcome back. We're about to steep into a conversation surrounding coffee, Yaseen's journey, but also where he wants to go, too. And I'm always, intrigued. I'm realizing a little bit of theme of this season is, appreciating the process and, lessons learned through pivots, but also what you want to do. too, right? And so I want you to like tell the people a little bit more about a little bit about your upbringing, because being a business owner is like, it's more like a family thing. It's not just you. Like we weren't to start. So talk around like your parents and like how they've inspired your journey to be able to open up your own coffee shop.
No doubt. So they played a huge part. So a little bit about me. I come from an immigrant family from Egypt. It's me, my mom, dad, got an older brother and a little brother back home.
Oh, you're a middle child too?
Kinda.
Okay.
So the little brother is 10. I'm turning 24 on Friday.
Yep.
So I was the baby for like the majority of the time.
Yeah.
I feel like
Capricorn.
Right, thank you. I feel like being a middle child has to be a lifelong thing. So I was like, by default, I'm a middle child, but I've never felt that way. I like to tell my parents that though. When I used to get in trouble when I was young, I'd be like, I'm a middle child.
That's a middle child.
They'd be like, shut up. You were the youngest damn near your whole life. I'm like, yeah, but like I'm the neglected middle child. Shut up.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
But so my parents have a restaurant back in the Lehigh Valley.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Mo's Eatery, named after my father, Muhammad. If you're in the Lehigh Valley, go check them out. They're in Allentown. But yeah, so just growing up around that, it was cool seeing the hustle, seeing the ups and downs, the hardships that come with being an entrepreneur, especially in the food industry. But they made it happen. Never had aspirations to do it myself. You know, I went to school, studied psychology, counseling. And then during the pandemic, I'm like, I don't know if this is for me. I'm still in school. I was working in restaurants, you know, at night, was working my way up through the management field. And I said, you know what, I'm going to put a pause on finishing this degree. I'm just going to see what I can do in the food space. Worked my way up to being an assistant general manager at a restaurant, and then found myself in this opportunity to open up a coffee shop. So the seed was planted. I was not very happy where I was working. I'm like, what could happen here, you know? And then one day I just took the risk before I had even, you know, signed a lease or anything. I quit my restaurant job, and I was like, we're going to make this happen. So I had no safety net. To make a long story short, I made it happen. Mama's Boy Cafe was the name I decided upon because my parents already had the shop named after my father. I'm like, I got to pay homage to the family. Mama's Boy. You got Mo's for my pops, Mama's Boy for my mom. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And then from that, I had specialty drinks named after my family members, close friends, people that brought me along the way. I had a lemonade. It was a homemade lavender honey lemonade. It's called the Botanical Funk. Shout out to Botanical Funk. That's my artist behind all my stuff. Dear friend of mine. Local Philly guy, too. You got to tap in with him.
Noted.
He's insane.
That drink sounds amazing.
Oh, yeah, man. I didn't play.
God.
I didn't come to play.
At all.
And it was dope. I mean, I was a one-man show at the shop.
Yeah.
I was there every day besides Monday. No other employees. I had people behind the scenes that would help me with like design and stuff, but running the brick and mortar was all myself.
How was that for you?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. You know, so many ups and downs. Let's see. When I first opened, I was 22 when I first opened.
That's crazy.
I celebrated my 23rd birthday just almost a year ago by throwing an anniversary party and a birthday party combined for my shop, which was dope because pivoting a little bit, I feel like men don't really celebrate themselves that much.
Right.
And I felt that I was able to because I had the shop as well. It was like, it's a combined celebration.
Yeah.
You would have never seen me throw an actual birthday party.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And that's like, low-key, birthdays are probably like the best marketing tool because now everybody's going to have to show up anyways.
And everybody has a birthday.
Yes. And everybody has a birthday. They feel special. Yeah, no, actually, I love that. But I'm still bugged out by you doing this all at 21, 22. Like,
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, just always been a hustler. Just wanted to build better things for myself. I fell in love with working for myself.
Yeah.
Because I see so many systemic errors in other places. Not to say, like, I didn't have plenty of my own.
Right.
But they were mine.
Right.
I was able to fix them how I wanted to. I was able to troubleshoot, try and navigate my way through the situation. And it was just me. I love my solitude, isolation. It's tough sometimes, but I just love being able to do it by myself. The goal was obviously to, you know, continue expanding.
Right.
So I wasn't working 80 hours a week by myself. But I loved it, man. That's what made my shop so special. Where else do you go that the only person you see or even ever see an owner of an establishment serving you?
Yeah.
It made it such a unique experience.
Yeah, no, I'm like bugged out, but also like amazed at this too, because I'm thinking about, like, I feel like just you saying that alone kind of dispelled the myth around like the entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think right now everybody sees like this is the sexy side of like entrepreneurship and owning a business, but
Yeah.
you're sitting there saying, yeah, I was working 80 hours a week. Like, that's a different level of commitment. I don't think people realize is like, it almost feels like the entrepreneurship is just a different form of a 9 to 5, but you were damn near doing
it was
9 to 9.
100%.
Like,
yeah, man.
yeah.
My day, you know, I
Different.
open up the shop at 7, close at 3. By the time I'm done cleaning, I got to go to Restaurant Depot, get the stuff I ran out of. Then on top of that, I still got to make time for myself, you know? Got to go to the gym, socialize, recharge, you know? Just live life.
Yeah.
Because you can get so sucked up into what you're doing that you forget about everything else. And the burnout is real.
I was gonna say, like, what was that first burnout like, and like, when did you feel like you finally learned the lesson of finding like that time to balance out and recharge?
You think I learned that? You think I learned that lesson, man?
He said, actually, I did not.
Come on now.
I'm not there yet.
I don't think you ever truly learn that lesson. I think you get better at how to manage it.
Yeah.
But from time to time, you got a big deadline coming up, or, you know, shit just happens, man. Life be lifing, right? Something's going to get in the way. You're going to have to go that extra 50 to 100% to just get it done.
Yeah.
But definitely, after a few months, I learned how to better time manage. I think it was a big thing when I was talking about it with my folks, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, this is what I've been doing. I'm very fortunate to have a good relationship with my mom and dad, but my mom was my rock, you know? Anytime I could just pick up the phone and call her.
Yeah.
And she would just break it down for me. It's like, I've been through this, or I haven't been through this, but here's my input. Having a sounding board like that really goes a long way. And
it's interesting because I know a lot of my friends, especially growing up in Reading, they all come from immigrant parents. And so, like, I'm, like, also in awe because I know this story of if my friends would have been like, yeah, I'm actually dropping out so I can run a business. Especially immigrant parents, I worked too hard. I came over here, so I had to fight tooth and nail. I came over with $10 in my pocket, and you're choosing to run a business when you could be a doctor, a lawyer, or a teacher or something, right? Like, that's what immigrant parents are expecting, right?
Yeah.
Because they sacrifice so much. And so, what was that experience like for you specifically around, did your parents immediately support it? Or what was that conversation looking like?
I would say they immediately supported it because they knew it was what I was going to do.
Yeah.
There wasn't any, you know, trying to talk me out of it, and I'm very fortunate for that because they knew that that was the hill I was going to die on.
Yeah.
And I did lead into it by saying, you know, I had already shown what I could do in the food space.
Right.
Like, I had worked my way from, you know, a delivery driver to a manager within a year.
Right.
So I knew I could make something happen in this space. And once I just started showing them, you know, proof of concept, for lack of a better term, they're like, okay, like, you could do something here. And they knew the money was coming out of my pocket.
Okay.
So,
okay.
You know, they knew it. So then what can they say, you know, at the end of the day? So even if shit would have hit the fan and they would have been like, no, like, I don't support this, wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah.
I still would have done it. But I'm just fortunate enough that they had my back and were willing to have tough conversations with me about what it's like to be a business owner.
Right. That is sweet. And can you just give us like an example of like what do conversations look like that? Like the toughest conversation you had to have?
There are definitely a lot. Let's see. The first one that comes to mind is just simple supply and demand.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, my vendor's out of this. This isn't going. I messed up with this order purchase. What do I do?
Yeah.
And then just troubleshooting. It was so resourceful to have that sounding board and just being able to talk to people who not only have been through this, but are my blood.
Yeah.
Like, there's no purer connection than a family bond that's actually healthy. Because, you know, blood isn't always thicker than water.
Yeah, you can say that again. Say that one more time. Blood's not always thicker than water.
Exactly. But when you're fortunate enough to have that connection, it can go such a long way if you take advantage of it and utilize it. Because a lot of people are, you know, afraid.
Yeah.
They're like, what if my parents, like, are upset? What if they think I'm a failure? I wasn't going to hear it. Like, they feel how they feel.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I'm still going to do what I want because I know deep down they're going to support me.
Right.
But I never even had to go down that road.
Yeah.
Because they always had my back, no matter what. Even if I messed up, they'd be like, yep, you fucked up.
Yeah.
But Here's how you can improve.
Yeah.
And that's what I needed to hear.
That is beautiful because I feel like they also help cultivate such a healthy relationship to feedback.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like that.
And it took a while to get there.
Yeah. I was like, I said, you're an earth sign. You hard-headed like the rest of us.
Right.
I get it.
It took a while to get there. I could not always have those conversations with my parents. But just growing up, especially, you know, like I said, being an immigrant, the culture is a lot different than what it is here.
Yeah.
I see the way people talk to their parents here sometimes. Can't even imagine. It's crazy. Like, what do you mean you told your mom to get the fuck out of your room?
Yeah, no, that bugs me out.
No, crazy. Couldn't even imagine.
Yeah. Oh, man. No, I think because I'm like, I'm keep saying, like, I'm so compelled by your story, too, because I feel like it's almost like a possibility model for some people to see, like, what this actually can look like, especially, like, I know a lot of my friends who are watching are just going to be, like, as soon as they hear, like, oh, he came from Egypt, and now he's in America, and then he went to college, and then he dropped out to open a shop, they're all going to be bugged out, right? Because they're going to be like, Marquise, how the hell?
Right.
But I think it's dope, though, that you were able to, like, have that support and know, like, there are models out there that make that work. And then I'm even more fascinated. Like, you're just like, cool, I want to own my own business. I want to run the shop. I want to do this. How the hell did you land on coffee?
So, I was never really, like, I drank shit Dunkin' coffee like everyone else, right? The space that I found had previously been a coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew it could work. I was like, you know what? I think I could do something here.
Yeah.
I started brainstorming names, ideas, concepts, and it all just came to fruition. I was like, yeah, coffee's dope. I also didn't only focus on coffee. Coffee was the main aspect, but I tried to get creative with my food as well.
Oh, yeah. I know. I looked at some of the food. I said, nah, it all looks fire. Like, it all looks good.
Yeah, man. You ever seen a coffee shop that was doing chopped cheeses?
No.
Come on.
That
didn't come until I started doing pop-ups after the shop.
Mm-hmm.
But in the future, getting back to it.
Yeah.
I love making good food, man.
Right.
Because that was my first love, was cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So then I paired it with the coffee, and I became a coffee connoisseur, for lack of better terms. I remember just going to different places, trying to figure out, you know, whose beans am I going to use, because I didn't always have my own line.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to figure out what aesthetic do I want, what do I want the menu boards to look like,
Yeah.
the smallest stuff. And it all just worked out. Yeah, I don't even know how. There's a little bit of luck and a whole lot of, you know, we gonna get there.
And look, and we gonna make it
We
work.
gonna get there. You don't have another option. You got to get it done.
No, that's real.
I opened up that shop. I think the first day I opened, had a couple $100 left to my name.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, something's got to go.
Yeah, you
I was like,
so you better sell.
I was like, this is gonna work.
Yeah.
I was prepared to, like, do DoorDash after I closed the store, like, do whatever I could to make extra money. And luckily, it didn't come to that.
Right.
It was, you know, I'm a proud Muslim man. I say alhamdulillah all the time.
Yeah.
You know, God has willed that. And that just took me so far.
Man, I'm just so happy for you. Like, it's a space of faith, family, and, like, such a strong belief in yourself, and knowing, like, that support system was there to, like, guide you all through that. And so, as I'm even thinking around, like, everything you talked about, from Mo's to Mama's Boy, like, there's a real big honor of family that you are, like, very close to.
Oh, yeah.
And so, do you feel like that's the even similar feel you want to create when anybody walks into your space?
100%.
Yeah, talk around, like, cultivating the culture of, like...
I mean, almost all my customers became regulars.
Yeah.
I knew their order when they walked in. I knew their names. We would follow each other on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, you know, I keep up with them. I'd be viewing their stories. Next time I see them, I'm like, yeah, happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
Or, you know, people would bring their dogs in all the time. I love it. I used to keep treats for the dogs behind the register. Sweet. Yeah, man. I just tried to cultivate an energy where everyone felt comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone needs a space where you can be yourself, 100% authentic. And that's something that really stuck with me throughout the whole journey to this day, was just authenticity.
Yeah.
Because I used to always be second-guessing what I'm doing, not sure if I'm making the right moves. And then one night, I just kept repeating the same phrase to myself. When I felt myself second-guessing a lot, I said, you can never second-guess a decision or action you made while being 100% authentic. Because if that was you doing exactly what you thought was the best decision, or you doing what you felt was right for you, you can't second-guess it.
Yeah.
That's how you got to lead.
I love that. I love that a lot because that's something I struggle with personally.
That was the conversation I had, man, and it took a lot of hard time to get there. And ironically, the time I first said that was on the phone with my mom.
Yeah.
Calling her after I was going through some shit. I was like, Mom, I don't know if I made the right decision. I don't know if I should have said that. I don't know if I should have done this. We're just talking it out, and those words came out of my mouth, and I was like, wait a second. I got to write this down.
Yeah.
I was like, I look at it every day. I got it written across my living room. Shorter terms, of course.
Right.
But, the same ideation.
Yeah. Oh, yo, thank you for sharing that. Like, I think that is such a beautiful space.
Yeah,
and
man.
I know, and allude to it ever so slightly, but, like, right now, there is no brick and mortar, right? And so where are you hoping to see it go? Because I know, like, that was, like, a very big pivot of just going from brick and mortar. And so now, let's start with, like, now that the brick and mortar is not there, how are you maintaining community through, like...
So right now, it's just been maintaining community through social media and people who still order my beans. So you can go on my social media, at Mama's Boy Cafe, shoot me a message, or there's a link in the bio as well. That's an order form. You can order your beans, or I just have people that check in.
Yeah.
I have my older customers that'll send me pictures of them walking their dogs on Main Street where my shop used to be.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, shout out to my friend Eleanor. She sent me a picture. She's like, Pumpkin misses you. Pumpkin's her little dog, just standing right next to where the door used to be. But I got a lot of stuff on the way.
Yeah.
I'm working on, more branding. The merchandise was always huge, man. People love the merchandise. I had almost all my merchandise said, tell someone you love them today.
Yeah.
And it was a message on the back. So it's whoever's walking behind you gets a nice little positive message for them. That's what it was all about, even on social media. Mondays were the only day I was closed.
Yeah.
And I used to post every Monday, me running my errands, going to Restaurant Depot, say, yo, what up, everybody? It's Monday. Go get a bag. Go tell your mom you love her. That was the mantra.
That is so simple, but so powerful. Man. Like, it's...
Dude, go hustle. Go tell your loved ones you care about them. Go about your day. It was something you got to make time for.
Yeah.
I always say give people their flowers while you still can.
Absolutely. Oh, man, yo. Thank you for sharing all of that.
Of course.
Right? I'm sitting there processing it all. And, like, I'm just appreciative of you being able to come to Keepin It a Bean and, like, tell your story, to be honest. Like, I think you have, like, such a unique journey, but it's such, like, an awesome and hopeful journey too. That is really sweet. So I just want to, one, thank you for sharing, but also like serving as a possibility model for people who are listening and watching this. But also just like the level of vulnerability, authenticity. Like, I'm watching you just talk and like be so transparent around your journey and all of that. And so I was worried, like, we sell the sexiness of like entrepreneurship and always the finished product, but to hear your process and to hear you talk around getting up to where you are now, I think is awesome. So, like, thank you once again for coming onto the platform. Thank you for talking. Thank you for reaching out.
Of course,
to
man.
be honest.
Yeah.
And also, and if you didn't notice in the back, okay, right here, it is a self-love blend, okay? And you said, what is this? Molasses and tart cherry with a touch of mocha.
Yes, sir.
Whole bean. Okay. I'm going to be grinding this drawing up.
Yes.
And having it right in my French press. It's going to be lit, okay? So please make sure to, like, support this business. I'll make sure to leave the link in the description and the bio and also access to the website. Good, brother. Please tell them where they can find you.
Dude, you can find me on Instagram at Mama's Boy Cafe. You want to keep in touch with me personally, it's at Project Yaseen. Keep an eye on the business page. We're going to be doing a whole lot of more content coming soon, whole lot more coffee, and a giveaway coming up. So make sure you stay tuned, and the merchandise, of course. And while you're at it, you got to support Keepin It a Bean.
Oh, truly and honestly, I thank you. Thank y'all for coming back and watching for another week. Thank y'all for who are subscribing, sharing. Please make sure that you are following him as well. Yo, another episode of Keepin It a Bean. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Of course. Peace.